guys, welcome to Annie and Asen. Asen has gone to the store and Adam is sleeping. In today's video I'll be talking about breastfeeding and how to boost your milk supply. So I'm exclusively breastfeeding baby Adam, which is amazing, and he's been gaining weight, which is good. We're having his 2 months checkup in the upcoming week, and we'll get to find out more information about his feeding or his weight and how he's doing, basically how he's responding. But I'm exclusively breastfeeding him, and that's going well. You'll probably hear him cooing because he's not deep asleep, but yeah, let's get to the video. So when it comes to breastfeeding with baby Adam, I find that he feeds every 1 hour 45 minutes, but he feeds a lot. The only time he doesn't feed a lot is at night when he's sleeping, but he does breastfeed a lot. So I am currently breastfeeding him on my boobs, and I am also pumping. I do pump because sometimes I need Asen to help me in feeding him. Plus, I don't think it's fair if he's only attached to me just because of breastfeeding. I feel like he also needs that bond with his dad. So I am pumping. That way, after he breastfeeds, we do fill him up through the bottle, whereby whatever milk I've expressed, Asen helps me give it to him through the bottle. And that has been working perfectly. So I have been having a lot of milk. And some of the things that I've been doing is I've been eating well. So I don't eat a lot of junk to start with. The only junk I have is cookies. I do have cookies maybe once every 2 weeks, or if I really feel like the urge of sugar, I'll have maybe once a week. I'll have maybe like 4 or 5 cookies, and then I'll have maybe ice cream. But that's just when it comes to junk. We cook all our foods, we don't eat out, and if we end up like ordering food, it's always Hello Fresh, where we still cook most of the foods. So eat well. As a result of eating well, you'll have enough milk supply. Sleep and get enough rest. This I cannot insist enough. There are times where I felt like crashing, and luckily Asen just has us, and in terms of like has our back. Like he'll take Adam, he'll take him for a walk, or he'll take care of him, and then I'll just sleep for like an hour or 2 hours. So I've had those moments. So when you need to rest, rest. I do take naps sometimes when Adam is sleeping, but that's just about it when it comes to rest. So rest while you can. We are very lucky that Adam sleeps through the night, in terms of like he only wakes up now once a night, which is really good. So it gives us time to rest, it gives us time to like also your body to reset, because you're breastfeeding, you're tired. So yeah, rest. I cannot re-emphasize that. And some of the other things I've been doing is I've been drinking a lot of water and a lot of porridge. So water, I've been doing around 1.5 to 3 liters of water every day. Now I've reduced the water because I find like I'm not so thirsty, but I'm still doing like 1.5 to 2 liters, but I'm not doing like 3 liters of water that like I used to do before. So we found out that when you're breastfeeding, actually 70 to 90% is basically from water or from fluids that you're drinking. So it's enough to make sure that you're hydrated if you're breastfeeding. Porridge. I've been drinking fermented porridge. I have fermented Kenyan porridge. I'll show you guys what I've cooked today. So I do drink porridge every like 3 days. Before I used to drink it every day. So this is the porridge that I get, the Kenyan porridge from a Kenyan grocery store here in Toronto. And when I cook it, I put it in cups like this, and then I'll have like 1 mug of porridge every day. Before, I used to have around 2 mugs of porridge every day. That really boosted my milk supply. I had so much milk from the porridge. So drink enough porridge, eat well, rest, and ask for help when you have to, because that's also counting part of the rest. Because sometimes like I'm so fatigued, like my body shuts down, like I'm not even thinking, but luckily Asen is holding the fort, which is good. And in terms of also the extra milk, what I always do is after I breastfeed Adam, I will express the milk. Sometimes when I'm expressing, it's always like a whole bottle or even 2 bottles sometimes. So when it's 2 bottles, I will end up freezing 1 entire bottle and just leave out the rest of the bottle for him to like to fill him up during the day as he breastfeeds. But as a result, I've got like a little bit of of milk, breast milk stash in my freezer. Asen keeps saying that I need to reduce on my intake of porridge and carbs because we barely have space in our freezer right now. I'm almost filling up the top side with breast milk. So in order to boost your milk supply, eat well, guys. Porridge, rest. Don't allow any stress. Like if you have to block people out of your life, block people out of your life. I've been in situations whereby I don't want pressure, so I've ended up like just cutting off certain communications, because all that, believe me, it just affects your milk supply, and you don't want anything impacting your milk supply when it comes to your kid. So now when it comes to my milk stash, I'll show you guys what I have currently. Every day I'll save a bag, and I'll keep saving, but I'll definitely go down. There are days where I actually had two stashes, like 2 bags to freeze, but currently I'm only freezing 1 bag per day. I'm basically reducing on my pumping. I'm only pumping twice a day right now. Before I used to pump 4 times a day. Like I would pump 4 times, sometimes I would skip as he feeds, but currently I'm only pumping once during the day and once at night, so only twice within 24 hours. So the more you pump, the more your milk supply is there. So be very careful. If you don't want to have so much milk, don't overpump, because again, that will cause your boobs. It's basically sending signals to your body to produce more milk, and as it produces more milk, you will have a lot of engorgements on your boob. So you need to be very careful. Don't overpump if you do not need to. So I only pump twice within 24 hours. So I'll show you guys how my milk stash currently looks like in the freezer. So when I open up my freezer, I have like a lot of desserts, a lot of meats, and guys, all that is my milk stash. So I am using Modelo bags. So as you can see, guys, like for instance from this one here, this is from yesterday. This, I basically have 240 ml in the bag, and we write the date and how much milk it is. When I look at when I started freezing, I think this was the first bag. This was from October. From October, it was 180. This one isn't didn't write because we just used to write, it just used to be 180 as per the specifications of Modelo. But we found out that the bags can contain more, so now we do freeze more. There are some days where you'll find that I have way more milk than other days, which is okay with us. But yeah, all the way to my freezer back there, that's all stashed milk. And I will keep freezing milk, and hopefully we'll be able to use it by the time Adam is like 4 months, 5 months. I'll start using the ones from October, and that will help me to basically pump less or even get rid of pumping altogether. I currently have like around 45 bags of milk, because there are days where I expressed twice, so I currently have around 45 of them, which is over a month. With that said, guys, you've already seen my milk stash, but to boost your milk supply, once again, eat well, rest enough, ask for help if you need to, express all the extra milk that you have, and also just enjoy your baby, because sometimes holding your baby close to you also increases the milk supply. I find that sometimes I don't even want to hold Adam so much, because as I hold him, I basically feel my boobs like they are vibrating, like milk is forming. So holding your baby a lot also helps with milk formation and increase your breast milk. When it comes to breastfeeding with Adam, he latches perfectly, but sometimes when he's drinking, you'll actually feel him swallowing the milk, like very big gulps, like So we were very worried initially that he's probably swallowing in a lot of air, but it seems that it's not a latching problem, and we do ensure that we burp him perfectly. So if you're breastfeeding, make sure you burp your baby as well, because I've heard instances where people tell me, oh, but you're breastfeeding, you don't need to really burp them so much compared to if you're bottle feeding. No, sometimes the air, they get in so much air even if they latch perfectly. So make sure you burp your baby well. And we also found out that with Adam, his breastfeeding is perfect in that he will breastfeed on one of the breasts for around like 7 to 10 minutes on one of the breasts, and then I will bap him. After bapping him, he will now move on to the other boob for again another 5 to maybe 7 minutes. The first time is when he's the longest, which is like around 7 to 10 minutes, but the second time he'll do 5 to 7 minutes of breastfeeding, and then after that he'll be so full because the milk supply in both of my boobs is really like intense. The pressure that the milk comes out with is a lot, but Adam has luckily been able to be able to deal with it, so we thank God for that. So I breastfeed him on one of the breasts. When he's done, I move to the other breast, and then after that I'll still bap him after the second breast, and we'll take like maybe 10-15 minutes break, after which I will try to now give him like using the bottle. And be very careful because with a bottle there's a tendency to overfeed, so you also want to make sure that you're not overfeeding your baby, because that would also cause other problems, colic, they won't be able to sleep, stomach aches for them. So yeah, those are some of the things that we do with baby Adam, and that's currently how our breastfeeding journey is. It's been amazing. It's good. Adam just looks at me whenever I'm breastfeeding. He looks at me and smiles, and he's just like smiling. And even between when we are changing the bobs, sometimes he'll look at me and he's like, ooh, oh, oh, oh. Like he's talking to me, he's holding conversations. It's a very beautiful connection. That's it from me, guys, in terms of breastfeeding. But currently, it's been amazing. I've had enough milk, and I'm thankful to God for that. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video. Bye.